Parasite, Gu, breeding long vitae path, starting from the love-enamored Gu. By Thousand Lakes True Person. Chapter 141, The Sanctuary of Cultivators, Avoiding a Battle. But seeking refuge in Mystic Mountain Range won't be that easy. This is the Mystic Mountain Range, the playground of demonic beasts, and home to countless venomous bugs and ferocious animals. 3 foundation building families previously lived here but unknowingly enraged a third-rank demonic beast from the depths of Mystic Mountain Range, leading to their total annihilation. If you plan to survive here for several years, you'll be walking on thin ice. Don't provoke the third-range demonic beasts here or nobody will be able to save you. Zhou Sui sternly advised. Thank you for the warning, but even so, it's still better than enduring the constant extortion from the outside world. It beats being captured by those sect cultivators as cannon fodder. Zhang Qi nodded, acknowledging the dangers of living in the Mystic Mountain Range. He had already assessed the risks before. Nevertheless, they had made such a decision. The thinking was that the outside world was too chaotic and that human life was considered cheap. Rather than being captured by those demon cultivators and living worse than death, they'd prefer to die at the hands of the demonic beasts. At least they wouldn't suffer before death. If that's the case, then I wish you all the best. Zhou Sui looked deeply at Zhang Qi and the others, fully understanding their thoughts. Indeed, harsh governance is worse than a tiger. Even cultivators, including those in the Foundation establishment realm, faced oppression from the sects. In peaceful times, the Golden Core sect might show some respect to these loose Foundation establishment cultivators. But at the critical point of life and death, it's survive or perish. To gather a large number of war supplies, various forms of extortion followed. Both loose cultivators and cultivator families alike were oppressed by the Golden Core sect. Nobody could resist. The Zhang family was such a case. They packed in haste and fled into the Mystic Mountain Range overnight. After all, the complex environment and profuse demonic beasts of the Mystic Mountain Range did not make it suitable for cultivators to live. Nobody would fight over it. It wasn't a strategic territory in any sense. This gave loose cultivators and cultivator families a chance for survival. A considerable number of cultivator families, in order to avoid the war, fled to places like the mystical mountain ranges. In a short time, the Zhang family and others left, having already found a suitable place nearby to live. They started building their houses and setting up arrays. My lord, never had I imagined that hiding in Mystic Mountain Range would help us avoid a war. Muzii remarked thoughtfully. She knew how brutal wars between sects could be. It was just like wars in the mundane world, rendering people homeless, leaving starvation everywhere, and countless dead and injured. During this time, almost no lands within tens of thousands of miles remained unaffected. Had they left Mystic Mountain Range, they might have been drawn into the war. Indeed, we should continue to live here in Mystic Mountain Range. Although this is a playground for demonic beasts, as long as we are careful, these beasts won't harm us. Zhou Sui also nodded. He realized more than ever that it was indeed wise to hide in Mystic Mountain Range. If he had moved to other places, he would certainly have been drawn into the war, or even have been detained by those Golden Core sects to serve as cannon fodder. On the contrary, by staying in the Mystic Mountain Range, he could access lots of cultivation resources and evade the sect's extortion. This was infinitely better than surviving outside. It was a veritable paradise isolated from the outside world. However, he was also a bit frustrated. He had initially hoped to indirectly seize control of the Immortal Mist sect through Lang Yuexi's power. However, from the looks of it, the Immortal Mist sect might soon be finished. But, he didn't feel too regretful. After all, compared to the Immortal Mist sect, his Dao partner Lang Yuexi was more critical. Whether or not he got control of the Immortal Mist sect didn't matter. Even if he truly gained control, it would merely be a feather in his cap. But, Sister Lang, the Immortal Mist sect is now at war with other sects. Don't you plan to return? Xia Jinjian asked curiously while looking at Lang Yuexi. After all, Lang Yuexi was indeed the young sect master of the Immortal Mist sect, equivalent to the next sect master. Her sect was now in trouble, so perhaps she might want to return and offer her aid. I don't plan on returning. Lang Yuexi shook her head. The Immortal Mist sect is a sect with a long history. It has endured numerous life and death crises. Its depth isn't something an average cultivator can imagine. You see, trying to destroy the Immortal Mist sect isn't an easy task. Moreover, I am merely a foundation-building cultivator right now. In such a large-scale sect war, whether there's one more or one less foundation building cultivator doesn't make much difference. Don't overestimate your significance. So my biggest goal right now is to reach the golden core. Once I become a golden core master, I can change the balance of power in the region and even alter the course of the war. Her thoughts were clear. Even though she had deep feelings for the Immortal Mist sect, she also knew her place. She was just a nobody. Even if she returned to the Immortal Mist sect, it wouldn't change the course of the war in any way. The ones who truly determined the war's outcome were the Golden Core Masters. If she could reach the level of a Golden Core Master, she could become a player, making her moves on the chessboard. Otherwise, she could only follow the flow and be sacrificed by others. It was like before when she was trapped in Misty Cloud City for over 2 years. The sect had shown no intention of sending anyone to rescue her. If not for her partner saving her, she probably would have died. So at this moment, she gave up her illusions. She wasn't as important to the Immortal Mist sect as she had imagined. Very well said, the sect wars don't concern us much. There's no need for us to get involved. Now, the most important thing for you is to reach the Golden Core level. Anything dangerous that comes your way, you'll be able to handle it with ease. Zhou Sui agreed completely with Lang Yuexi's thoughts. Sister Ling, are you planning to form your core here? Ji Binjiu asked curiously. That's correct. Lang Yuexi nodded, this is an excellent place to form a core. It has a 2-level spirit vein. Although it's not as good as the Immortal Mist sect's 3-level spirit vein, the energy is still barely enough. In fact, with the aid of the core-forming spiritual items Ice Fire Spiritual Liquid and the Golden Liquid Jade Return Pill, the help from a spirit vein doesn't matter much. Given a few months, I will surely succeed in forming my core. She clenched her fist, exuding confidence. Sister Ling, leave your core formation to me. I've successfully become a second-stage array master. I can set up a second-stage spirit gathering array to help gather nature's spiritual energy. I can also set up a concealment array to hide your aura when you break through, preventing detection by the 3-stage demonic beasts in the mountains. With my help, nobody will be able to disturb you during your core formation. Xiaojinjian immediately pled. Thank you all for your help. Upon hearing these words, Lang Yuexi smiled faintly and felt a wave of warmth in her heart. Indeed, they were her true family. Compared to those disciples from the Immortal Mist sect, who might abandon others at any moment, her relationship with her family was indeed closer. Chapter 142, The Refinement of Dragon Elephant Goo, Body Foundation Establishment. Soon, Lang Yuexi entered a state of secluded cultivation. The entire valley was surrounded by a powerful second-stage formation to prevent intrusion from enemies. Zhou Sui, Ji Binjiu, Xiaojinjian, and Mu Ziyi naturally played the role of protectors, consistently stationed within the valley. Even if Lang Yuexi was not in seclusion, they rarely went out, choosing to cultivate in the valley. After all, they had only recently advanced to the foundation establishment stage and needed time to consolidate their cultivation. In the meantime, cultivators from various families sporadically appeared in the Cloud Mist Mountain Range. It wasn't just the Zhang family who sought refuge deep in the Cloud Mist Mountain Range, other cultivating families were also present. Suddenly, the mountain range started to bustle with activity as cultivators began to show up all around the area. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had quickly passed. At this very moment, Zhou Sui was sitting cross-legged in his personal meditation room, operating the Insect God Sutra to communicate with the Dragon Elephant Goo within him. Boom boom boom. Suddenly, another stream of mysterious blood energy poured from the Dragon Elephant Goo into Zhou Sui's body. At this instant, Zhou Sui felt as if his body had received the nourishment of Dragon Elephant Essence blood, producing miraculous effects like consuming astonishing body-tempering treasure pills. Perhaps due to the irrigation of mysterious blood energy dozens of times, his body was constantly being strengthened. Today, a qualitative change had occurred through the accumulation of these quantitative enhancements. Zhou Sui found that his body felt warm, as if there was a furnace burning inside him, enhancing every part of his body, including muscles, bones, skin, etc. It was as if his body had evolved from human to divine beast. The power within his body showed explosive growth. An aura from the ancient primordial age emanated from him, establishing a terrifying pressure. Vaguely, mysterious runes appeared on his skin, releasing waves of mystical power that formed an impregnable golden energy shield. The ground where he was meditating was shattered by this terrifying surge of blood energy, forming a massive crater. Dense fractures appeared on the ground. The central area was crushed into powder, manifesting fearsome destructive power. Body foundation building, have I achieved body foundation building now? Instantly, Zhou Sui's eyes emitted a horrifying brilliance. He felt an unprecedented amplification of the power within his body, reaching at least 100,000 caddies of immense strength. Every move he made was like an ancient primordial beast. With a casual punch, he could slay a first-grade magical beast, bursting it into several pieces of meat. The blood energy within his body increased at a terrifying rate. Every drop of blood in him was filled with a vibrant heat that could instantly burn evil spirits that came close into ashes. The chi and blood running through his body now was inexplicably vigorous and abundant. Of course, Zhou Sui felt that the most astonishing change within his body was his skin. His skin was no longer human, it was as smooth as jade with no scars, looking like the skin of a newborn baby. Even more so, mysterious and ancient dark gold runes had been engraved deep into his skin, making it extremely tough. He instantly knew that his body had gone through an extraordinary change. This was the elephant skin granted by the dragon elephant Gu. Legend has it that this skin originated from a divine elephant from hell. It was even more formidable than the skin of a divine dragon. The divine dragon was covered in scales that could foil many attacks, offering unparalleled defense. However, it had an Achilles heel, it was vulnerable at the reverse scales. Once a reverse scale got broken, the divine dragon would die. That was the divine dragon's weakness. But, the divine elephant from hell was different. Its skin exhibited flawless perfection, without any vulnerabilities. It possessed a formidable physical defense ability. Against the physical attack of a chi cultivation stage cultivator, it was virtually immune, without the slightest scratch. If it was an assault from a foundation establishment stage body cultivator, then each attack's power would be diminished by half. Simultaneously, it had remarkable skill defense abilities. The regular skills of chi cultivation stage could essentially be disregarded, easily shattered with a single punch. As for a foundation establishment stage skill cultivator's technique, it could also reduce half of the attack. It could be said that the skin of an elephant was equivalent to wearing a lower-grade defensive spiritual artifact on one's body. Endowed with an astounding defensive power. Is this the power of dragon elephant's body? Zhou Sui was in awe. Although he had known that as his cultivation continually advanced, the dragon elephant Gu would bring him massive benefits, he had never imagined it could actually aid him in achieving physical foundation building. This advantage was simply too significant. Despite his current cultivation not having reached the foundation establishment realm yet, his body had evolved into a body cultivation condition of that level. In other words, the power of his body alone could resist an early-stage cultivator in the foundation establishment realm. Right, I should check my body's data first. At this moment, Zhou Sui had a thought and immediately opened his virtual panel. Host, Zhou Sui, Cultivation, Chi Cultivation Nineth Layer, Progress 70%, Lifespan, 350 years. Aptitude, 6th Stage Spirit Root, 3%. Swordsmanship, 1st Grade Superior, 99%. Rune, 1st Grade Superior, 99%. 7th Order Formation, 1st Grade Superior, 55%. Pill Master, 2nd Stage Inferior, 79%. Phantasma Transformation Skill, Minor Accomplishment, 75%. 5 Elements Alchemy Technique, Great Achievement, 15%. 7 Apertures Spirit Secret, Heart Eye Recognition, 45%. Fireball Technique, Grandmaster, 19%, Wind Blade Art, Proficient, Golden Light Skill, Proficient, Ice Frost Skill, Proficient, Spring Wind Rain Skill, Proficient, Lightning Summoning Skill, Proficient. Obsession Gu, 2nd Stage Superior, Clone Gu, 1st Grade Superior, Wine Bug, 1st Grade Superior, Gold Eating Bug, 1st Grade Superior, Bookworm, 1st Grade Superior, Dream Soul Gu, 1st Grade Superior, Dragon Elephant Gu, 1st Grade Superior, Golden Light Thousand Poison Gu, 1st Grade Superior. Immediately, a series of magnificent data was displayed before him. This also allowed him to comprehend his current conditions to a certain extent. After 3 months of cultivation, his chi cultivation had improved greatly. Of course, because the chi cultivation progress at the 9th stage was extremely slow, it would usually take at least 10 years for an ordinary cultivator to reach the accomplished realm, perhaps even longer. And Zhou Sui was cultivating the Insect God Sutra. Each Gu insect was equivalent to a Danshan Chi Si. Therefore, his cultivation improvement did not only benefit his main body, but also needed to assist in the cultivation improvement of the Gu insects. As such, the speed of cultivation was even slower. In 3 months, he had only achieved a 10% improvement. Thankfully, his spirit root had improved to the 6th stage, reaching the mid-grade spirit root realm. Otherwise, if he still was at the lower grade spirit root realm, his cultivation speed would have been much slower. Even so, he was quite satisfied with his present cultivation speed. He estimated that in about a year and a half, he could elevate his cultivation to the accomplished status of the Qi cultivation nineth layer. By then, he could attempt to lay the foundation, advancing to the foundation establishment realm. This was already a progress rate that could be considered as visible to the naked eye. Chapter 143, comparable to foundation establishment body cultivation, lifespan of 350 years. Such a great benefit from my physical breakthrough? My lifespan has reached 350 years. Zhou Sui blinked, feeling utterly astounded. Compared to his power, physical fitness, and various abilities, the increase in lifespan excited him more. After all, isn't learning various skills and methods for the sake of increasing one's lifespan? Many cultivators embark on the path of cultivation with the intention of achieving immortality. The lifespan of 350 years basically breaks the limit of foundation establishment cultivators. After all, foundation establishment cultivators can live at most only 250 years. Even if they take life-prolonging pills, they can only live 260 or 270 years. This is the limit. But now, he hasn't genuinely advanced to the foundation establishment realm yet, and he already has a lifespan of 350 years. This is almost equivalent to 3 times the lifespan of ordinary Qi cultivation stage cultivators. If this were to be spread, it would scare many Qi cultivation stage cultivators to death. If he advances to the foundation establishment realm, who knows how much his lifespan could increase, perhaps he could easily surpass the lifespan of golden core cultivators. So this is the power of the dragon elephant Gu? Creating a dragon elephant's body, achieving an extraordinary life. I am not purely human now. So naturally, my lifespan far exceeds ordinary people. Zhou Sui was filled with astonishment. Honestly, human life is indeed short compared to those exotic life forms and demonic beasts, it's just a fleeting existence. But now he has broken the limit of human lifespan, entering the realm of non-human. And this is just the beginning. As the refining effect of the dragon elephant Gu continues to strengthen, his lifespan might keep enhancing. By then, he would live even longer than a 1,000-year-old turtle. Without a doubt, aside from the obsession Gu, the dragon elephant Gu has the greatest impact on him. This Gu insect enhances him in all aspects, whether its strength or lifespan. And its effects are endless. Now my vitality, body, and soul power have basically reached perfection, even the foundation establishment realm. If my body's true yuan also becomes perfect, then consuming foundation pills will not be necessary. I can directly begin self-initiated foundation establishment. Zhou Sui stroked his chin. Honestly, thanks to his dual cultivation with Lang Yuexi and benefiting from her vast cultivation experience, he is becoming more aware of what the process of foundation establishment for cultivators entails. When ordinary Qi cultivation perfection cultivators try to establish their foundation, they fail to reach the realm of foundation establishment because their vitality, spiritual sense, or true yuan are not perfect. This leads to the chaotic circulation of the true yuan and vitality within their bodies. It's like an energy exploding within them, instantly shattering their meridians and danshan. That's why there's a saying that, if the foundation establishment fails, Qi cultivation cultivators will surely die. Only the power of foundation pills can protect the meridians and danshan within a cultivator's body. So even if their foundation establishment fails, the cultivators won't die and can attempt a second or third time to establish their foundation. One could say, the invention of the foundation pill is like a godsend pill to the general public. Before the invention of foundation pills, only top geniuses could successfully establish their foundation and embark on the path of cultivation. But now, with the presence of foundation pills, even those with lower grade spirit root have a possibility of successful foundation establishment. As for the mid-grade spirit root and upper grade spirit root, the probability of success is even greater. Because of this, Zhou Sui, who has now successfully built his body foundation, is incredibly powerful. Even if he fails in self-initiated foundation establishment, he won't die, his body is fully capable of withstanding the backlash. If the self-initiated foundation establishment succeeds, the benefits gained will be greater than those gained from using foundation establishment pills. Zhou Sui narrowed his eyes. He also received a lot of related information, that the mana of those geniuses who self-initiated foundation establishment is twice as pure compared to other foundation establishment cultivators who used foundation pills to rise. As a result, these geniuses who self-initiated foundation establishment have a higher possibility of condensing a golden core in the future. The success rate increases at least by 20%. So, if possible, he naturally wants to initiate self-initiated foundation establishment, to lay a perfect Dao foundation. This also concerns his future path of core formation. Being one step ahead every time, that's the principle of cultivation. Currently, my body is comparable to a foundation establishment body cultivator. Even if I fail, it doesn't matter. Indeed, I can try it. Touching his chin, Zhou Sui immediately made up his mind. After all, his body could withstand the backlash of failure in foundation establishment. If it really doesn't work, he can use the foundation pill later. He simply has too many cards up his sleeve. After consolidating his cultivation for a while, it was already night. His 3 wives had already prepared a fragrant dinner for him, with all kinds of delicious food available. After all, the Cloud Mist mountain range is not short of beasts. As long as one has the strength, they can hunt beasts at will for large quantities of meat. Crack! At this time, Zhou Sui left the quiet room and gently took a seat at the dining table. This wooden stool couldn't bear his body strength and shattered instantly into numerous pieces of wood. Husband, has your body successfully built the foundation? At this moment, Ji Binjia was the first to sense the immense power of Zhou Sui's body, which was like a melting pot, seeming like a terrifying giant beast. His seemingly slender body contained terrifying strength. Right, you are indeed observant. During my cultivation just now, I accidentally succeeded in body foundation building. Because my strength increased suddenly, I am temporarily unable to perfectly control the power within my body. Zhou Sui was quite helpless. In fact, this was not the first time. Every monthly refining with the dragon elephant goo would result in a sudden increase in his strength, during which he couldn't control his body strength. He often shattered the pottery bowls and spoons in the house. Even the door frames and other furniture would be smashed by his gentle slap. Now that he has successfully built his body foundation, with the strength of hundreds of thousands of pounds within his body, controlling his strength is even more difficult. At least a few more days are needed for him to adapt to the explosively increased strength and return to his daily life. True to be my husband, your body is on par with a body cultivator at foundation establishment, so isn't the foundation establishment already a sure thing? Muziai's eyes lit up and she was quite excited. She knew that if one builds their physical foundation in advance and then uses foundation pills as a supplement, the success rate of foundation establishment would be at least 80%. However, to succeed in body foundation building is even more difficult than succeeding in chi foundation establishment. The resources required are not something ordinary cultivators can afford. It's not certain, I can just say I have a little confidence. Zhou Sui said modestly. Who would have thought that my husband could catch up to our cultivation levels so quickly? I remember when I first met my husband, he was just a chi cultivation first layer little cultivator. Xia Jinjian was very emotional. A few years ago when they met, she didn't think she could successfully build her foundation so quickly, nor did she expect her husband to catch up with their cultivation levels so quickly. Chapter 144, The Arrival of the Ghost Demon Sect Cultivator, the Alliance of Family Cultivators. Everyone had a joyful dinner that night. To celebrate his body foundation building, Zhou Sui and his 3 wives and concubines celebrated in a delightful way. It lasted until the morning. Of course, this was nothing out of the ordinary for Zhou Sui. With his physical fitness comparable to a body cultivator at the foundation establishment stage, even stronger perhaps, his stamina was extraordinary. Not to mention 3, even managing 10 would be no problem. As Zhou Sui was planning to continue the celebration, cultivator Zhang Qi came calling. Brother Zhou. Upon seeing Zhou Sui, Zhang Qi was surprised, feeling the faint pressure emanating from Zhou Sui, making his heart pound and his soul shake. It was as if an unprecedented dangerous beast stood before him, ready to devour at any moment. Truth be told, he had begun to question Zhou Sui's cultivation before. Even though Zhou Sui demonstrated the cultivation of the Qi cultivation stage, he had 3 partners of the early foundation establishment stage. No matter how he looked at it, it was not ordinary. Now he realized that Zhou Sui had indeed hidden his cultivation last time, certainly the result of some highly advanced ascetic breath skill, that's why he had not noticed it. In fact, Zhou Sui should already be a foundation establishment cultivator. And now, Sui's body is extremely strong, he must be a body establishment cultivator. Which means, this man before him, is probably a cultivator of both chi and body. This is very rare in the cultivation world. After all, it is extremely difficult for ordinary cultivators to advance on one path, let alone two. Sometimes, even if the life is exhausted, one can't break through to a higher level. The resources consumed are also terrifying. People who dare to cultivate both chi and body are undoubtedly highly talented cultivators. Oh, Brother Zhang, what brings you here? Seeing Zhang Qi's somewhat respectful expression, Zhou Sui realized that he wasn't able to control his aura very well due to his breakthrough to the body foundation building. Therefore, Zhang Qi discovered some of his secrets. But this did not matter. As the strength of body foundation building, he does not have to fear such a foundation establishment cultivator. When the strength reaches a certain level, he can be somewhat arrogant. That can deter those evil-minded people. The thing is, there seems to be a cultivator of foundation establishment stage from the ghost demon sect appearing in the Yunwu mountains recently. Several fellow deists have already become their victims. Zhang Qi looked solemn. What? Is this news true or false? Hearing this, Zhou Sui was shocked. If a cultivator from the ghost demon sect really came to Yunwu mountains, it would be dangerous. Because now, Lang Yuexi is in a critical period of core formation and can't be disturbed at all. If disturbed, she might fail in her core formation, then there will be no next chance. This is a critical moment that affects the deist path. To be honest, this matter is more likely than not. In the past few days, some cultivators have been murdered in the settlements of the nearby families. They died under the ghost demon sect's unique skill, 7 Slaughter Palm. The evil aura invaded their bodies and they died miserably. 3 of the foundation establishment deists were even killed by the enemy. No doubt, even if he is not a foundation establishment elder of the ghost demon sect, he must have a big connection with ghost demon sect. Zhang Qi said in a deep voice. But isn't the ghost demon sect fighting with other sects? How can a cultivator of the foundation establishment stage come to Yunwu mountains? Zhou Sui frowned, his face was serious. He always felt that this matter was quite unusual. The grand sect elder of the ghost demon sect, who was at the foundation establishment stage, had deeply infiltrated Yunwu mountains. Normally, a sect elder of foundation establishment stage level would be the main force of a sect. Now, during the critical period of the war, how could he leave the battlefield and come to such a remote place like Yunwu mountains? It's like during the Three Kingdoms era, Sun Quan sent troops to prick the South Seas region for no reason. It doesn't matter how you look at it, it seems like a brainless action. To be honest, he suspected that this elder of the ghost demon sect might have come for Lang Yuexi. But the question is, Lang Yuexi didn't reveal any flaws and traces at all, how did they discover Lang Yuexi in the end? No, it may not necessarily be about discovering Lang Yuexi. There might be other reasons. For a while, he was lost in thought, pondering over the possible consequences of this matter. I'm not sure, the ghost demon sect's cultivators always act weirdly, with no rules to speak of. How could we possibly know what their purpose is? Zhang Qi said solemnly, speaking frankly, I came here this time hoping to join forces with you for mutual aid. In case we encounter a robbery cultivator, we could look after each other. Otherwise, if we are individually broken by the ghost demon sect's cultivators, we might all die miserably here. This was his reason for seeking Zhou Sui this time. He wanted to form an alliance with Zhou Sui and others. After all, there are 4 foundation cultivators in this valley, which certainly constitutes a powerful force. Even a foundation establishment elder of ghost demon sect would have to think twice when facing such strength. Oh, so what do you guys want to do? Zhou Sui asked. Simply put, we cultivators' families want to unite to build a large temporary dwelling. If deist friends like you also contribute, you can also occupy some areas. Said Zhang Qi solemnly. It's impossible for a single cultivator family to do this. Dealing with the second stage monsters in the Yunwu mountains is troublesome enough. But if several cultivator families unite, they could eradicate the monsters in this area. Then build a human village, or maybe a market. Let's forget it, we are used to staying in the valley, we don't want to go anywhere else. We appreciate your kindness. Zhou Sui waved his hand, firmly rejecting the offer. Because now it's a critical period for Lang Yuexi's core formation, they cannot leave at all. Moreover, if they were to truly join the alliance of these cultivator families, they would certainly be used by them to help them hunt down various second-stage monsters. He was doing well in the valley, so why get involved in this kind of thing? These cultivator families have a lot of people, so they need to expand their living space. But as for themselves, they only have 4 or 5 people including their wives and concubines. Basically, if one person is full, the whole family is not hungry, there's no need to expend so much effort. As for the threat of a cultivator of foundation establishment stage from the ghost demon sect, with his current strength, he doesn't fear much. Alright, since Brother Zhou has made up his mind, I won't say much more. We will welcome you anytime if you change your mind. Hearing this, Zhang Qi felt helpless. If the alliance could have 4 more foundation cultivators, their strength would undoubtedly increase significantly and they would be more secure. What a pity that the other party didn't want to get involved, they couldn't do anything about it. After all, he could not force 4 foundation cultivators to join the alliance. Chapter 145, Practicing the Summoning Demon Heart Scripture, Condensing the Demon Seed. Darling, could it be possible that those cultivators from Ghost Demon Sect came for Sister Ling? At this moment, Ji Binjiu had also heard the conversation between Zhou Sui and Zhang Qi. As a woman sharp as ice and snow, she naturally first thought of Lang Yuexi. As the cultivators of Ghost Demon Sect had intruded into the misty mountain range with no apparent reason made it seem they bore malicious intentions. Muzii and Xiaojinjian also became a bit nervous immediately. That's uncertain for now, they might not necessarily be here for Yuexi. Besides, our whereabouts shouldn't be known to the Ghost Demon Sect. If they knew exactly where we were, they certainly would have found us directly, rather than beating about the bush. Zhou Sui said in a low voice. But if they are not here for Sister Ling, then why would they be here? Right now it is a time of war between sects, loss of several foundation building cultivators is unusual no matter how you look at it. Could it be that the Ghost Demon Sect is so confident in their victory that even the loss of foundation building cultivators is not an issue? Xiaojinjian felt doubtful still. There's no need to guess. Find the traces of those cultivators of Ghost Demon Sect, directly. Kill them all, search their souls, then we will know what their objective is. Zhou Sui's eyes flashed with a trace of sharp light. Truth be told, he was different from before now. During that time in Misty Cloud City, he was forced to hide in a bunker beneath the city by the cultivators of the Ghost Demon Sect, fearing that the cultivators of Ghost Demon Sect would find him and kill him. He had tasted such oppression. But it was different now. Even though he hadn't reached the foundation establishment realm of cultivation, his body was already comparable to the cultivators of body cultivation in the foundation establishment realm. In terms of combat power, he wasn't inferior to an early-stage foundation building cultivator. If the effects of the Dream Soul Goo were taken into account, then his fighting power would be further amplified by several multiples. Perhaps there also lay a chance to take revenge. Thinking of this, Zhou Sui commanded his clone and the gold-eating bug to scatter and search for any signs of the cultivators from Ghost Demon Sect, and to report immediately upon finding them. In a blink of an eye, 3 days passed. But during these 3 days, Zhou Sui found nothing. He hadn't even seen a shadow of a Ghost Demon Sect cultivator. However, this wasn't abnormal. After all, the Misty Mountain Range extended for thousands, even tens of thousands of kilometers, with its vast and boundless lands. It was cloaked in clouds and mists every day and the terrain was complex. Even if one really ventured into the Misty Mountain Range, it would sometimes be difficult to locate one another, even when nearby. Finding someone in the Misty Mountain Range was, indeed, a considerably difficult task. Perhaps these cultivators from Ghost Demon Sect knew their actions had been discovered and so they hid for the time being. It was still impossible to find their traces in such a short period of time. But Zhou Sui didn't care much about this, after all, his cultivation was his main focus now. The Summoning Demon Heart Scripture, truly is the cultivation technique that points directly to divinity transformation, it's ineffably wonderful. Zhou Sui sat cross-legged on the ground. During these 3 months, he not only fiercely cultivated, but at the same time, he also pondered over this supreme cultivation technique of the Yama sect. No doubt, this cultivation technique profoundly unfathomable, endless in its subtleties. If it wasn't for the help from the bookworm's power, he might not have been able to comprehend this cultivation technique. No wonder Yama sect had produced a large number of geniuses over the years, yet only a very few had practiced successfully. Even those who did succeed, were driven into insanity by the side effects of this cultivation technique, leading them to lose their way in cultivation practices. After pondering over it for 3 months, he realized that this cultivation technique, like the 7 apertures spirit secret, is also a superior soul secret art. The only difference was that 7 apertures spirit secret leaned towards auxiliary abilities and provided for grasping the world's essence, while the summoning demon heart scripture leaned towards manipulating people's hearts and controlling their heart demons. In any case, each had its own wonders. The first level of the summoning demon heart scripture is to condense the demon seed. A glint appeared in Zhou Sui's eyes. The so-called demon seed was the seed of the heart demon. Using the soul power within one's body, the heart demon within oneself was stripped away and formed into a seed. The seed of the heart demon was silent and shapeless, colorless, and formless. A normal person could not detect it, sense it, or comprehend it. Once condensed successfully, the seed of the heart demon could be integrated into the enemy's body. If it went against promises made, the heart demon's seed would explode completely, transforming into a heart demon to devour the enemy's soul. If promises were kept, the heart demon's seed would continue to slumber until the moment the promises were broken. The first level of the technique was difficult to refine. Because ordinary cultivators could not even sense their heart demon, how could they strip away the heart demon to condense the demon seed? Only with strong innate soul power and a clear understanding of Dao heart could a cultivator detect the heart demon within their body. Different Daoist schools had different ways of dealing with the heart demon. If it was the Daoist school, the natural method was to expel and kill off the heart demon completely, as the great Tao was merciless and supremely saintly. For the Buddhist school, it was to transform and even purify the heart demon, as all demons could be helped over. However, the demon sect was different, they hoped to tame the heart demon and use it as their own weapon. But don't think that this method is too clever. Because this method was a double-edged sword, if one was bitten back by the heart demon, they would enter demonic possession and die. Even their soul could be devoured by the heart demon, leading to a living death. Walking with demons was an extremely dangerous thing. The number of successful demon cultivators was few and far between. Interesting, is this the heart demon? At this moment, Zhou Sui sat cross-legged on the ground, carefully sensing his own soul power. Through the power of the dream soul gu, he could clearly sense faint strands of black energy entwined around his own soul. This black energy was the heart demon. Needless to say, this was also the special ability of the dream soul gu, which could easily detect the existence of the heart demon. Bang! In an instant, his mind and soul immersed into the black energy and lightly touched it. He immediately understood what his heart demon was. It was fear. Fear of the dangerous world of cultivation. Fear of being killed by unknown cultivators. Fear of being abandoned by companions and so on. In sum, it was fear of the unknown and death. It was precisely this kind of fear that made him act with extreme caution, never venturing into danger personally. Of course, he didn't think fear was a bad thing. Appropriate fear could keep him motivated and always yearning to push further. First, let's draw out these heart demons. A glint appeared in Zhou Sui's eyes as he began to recite the incantations of the summoning demon heart scripture. Why is it called the summoning demon heart scripture? Because this technique recorded an incantation that could greatly attract the heart demon when chanted using soul power. Just like the enchanting songs of the Sirenes to mankind. The heart demon would also be attracted by this force and temporarily separate from one's soul. Then, at the moment the heart demon left, it would be sealed and refined into a demon seed. This was the secret of the summoning demon heart scripture. Chapter 146, Summoning Demons, Sealing Demons, refining the first level cultivation technique. Swish! In an instant, Zhou Sui felt that, deep within his soul, threads of black breath abruptly detached themselves and separated from his soul, temporarily breaking off into 2 parts. At this moment, he felt an unprecedented clarity in his soul. It was as if a dirty mirror had been wiped clean, regaining its original brightness. To the soul, a heart demon was truly like a stain. If not eradicated, it would cause the soul to become heavier and heavier, obscured by the heart demon. Seal the demon. Zhou Sui's eyes flashed, and he began the next step. In fact, the first level of the summoning demon heart scripture had 3 incantations. The first was the invocation demon skill, which could attract the heart demon. The second was the sealing demon skill, which could imprison and seal the heart demon. The third was the refining demon technique, which could refine the heart demon into a demon seed. Only after mastering these 3 incantations could one be deemed to have successfully cultivated the first level of the summoning demon heart scripture. Boom! At this moment, under the effect of the bookworm, Zhou Sui felt as though he was in a state of enlightenment. He felt neither joy nor sorrow, without any emotion, it was a state of absolute rationality. He formed a seal with both his hands, instantly imprisoning the heart demon within his body. It was as if a non-existent mental cage bound the heart demon, rendering it unable to break free. Then this mental cage compressed, and compressed continually, squeezing the heart demon to its limits. In the end, the heart demon could no longer struggle or move, and it transformed into a solidified seed. This was the seed of the heart demon. Perfect! The moment the seed of the heart demon was formed, Zhou Sui's body shook. He instantly realized that he had successfully cultivated the first level of the summoning demon heart scripture and started condensing the demon seed. This was the first step, and also the most crucial one. If he could not even successfully condense the demon seed, it would be entirely impossible to proceed to the second step. He sensed that he and this demon seed were as one, indeed a part of his soul, as natural as moving his arm. Vaguely, this demon seed seemed to contain a hint of demonic nature, drawing one into it involuntarily. It was as if his soul was entirely devoured by this demon seed, falling into a whirlpool. Presumably, this ultimate cultivation technique from the Yama sect indeed has a different level of evilness. I can now manifest 5 demon seeds. Zhou Sui touched his chin. Now he also knew that the demon seed could not be condensed indefinitely, it was closely related to the soul power of the cultivator. The more robust the soul power, the stronger the power of the heart demon, only then could more demon seeds be condensed. But even so, this was more than enough. After all, quality was far more vital than quantity. Has the cultivator from Ghost Demon sect finally appeared? Suddenly, Zhou Sui felt a movement in his heart, as if he had noticed something. One of his clones was hiding in a large tree, and then he saw 3 cultivators quietly arriving in the distance. One had a pointed mouth and monkey cheeks, with an ugly face. One was one-eyed, with only one eye left. And one was bald, with no hair left on his head. Though their appearances were peculiar and unlike ordinary people, their auras were exceptionally powerful, unmistakably those of early-stage Foundation Establishment cultivators. Wait, isn't that guy one of the Foundation Establishment realm demon cultivators who attacked Misty Cloud City? Suddenly, Zhou Sui squinted his eyes, finding the thin and monkey-like Foundation building cultivator very familiar, as if they'd met before. After a careful reflection, he was indeed one of the Foundation building cultivators who had besieged Misty Cloud City. It was unexpected to encounter him here of all places. Back then, he had been terrified of this Foundation building demon cultivator, living in fear of being discovered by him. But now, they had met again right here. However, he was no longer the ordinary Qi cultivation stage cultivator from before, his Qi cultivation had reached the 9th realm, and his physical condition could be compared to that of a body cultivation at Foundation establishment stage. In terms of combat power, he differed little from an early-stage Foundation building cultivator. This is an opportunity for revenge. With a gleam in his eye, Zhou Sui was engulfed in a seeming, faint murderous intent. He wouldn't forget the ruthlessness of the Ghost Demon Sect's cultivators. If it weren't for those demons besieging Misty Cloud City, it would still be a peaceful refuge for loose cultivators. Peace had graced Misty Cloud City for centuries, but it was destroyed overnight because of the arrival of these demon cultivators. If he didn't have the power to seek revenge, then so be it. He didn't intend to court death. Now, however, he had the ability to seek revenge, and that made all the difference. Whether to protect Lang Yuexi's safety or for revenge, these 3 Ghost Demon Sect Foundation building cultivators needed to die. With that in mind, he waited quietly, focusing his attention and looking for the right moment to strike. At this moment, these 3 Ghost Demon Sect Foundation building cultivators were gathered together. Unaware that they were being watched from the shadows, they still believed that the surroundings were devoid of people. The thin and monkey-faced cultivator was called Peng Hai, the bald cultivator was called Miao Song, and the one-eyed cultivator was called Ji Xian. All of them were senior elders of the Ghost Demon Sect and were of high status and power. Damn, where exactly is Lang Yuexi? As the master of the sect said, did she really hide in the Cloud Fog mountain range? Peng Hai cursed peevishly. According to the sect's intelligence, for more than half a year, Lang Yuexi had not returned to the Immortal Mist sect. But her tracks could not be found in Misty Cloud City either. Even the paths leading back to the Immortal Mist sect were devoid of her presence. Thus, the only possibility is that Lang Yuexi has been hiding deep within the Cloud Fog mountain range. That's why she managed to avoid our ghost demon sect's pursuit. The bald cultivator, Miao Song, had a cold gleam in his eyes as he calmly analyzed. Hehe, this female cultivator was long ago poisoned by our sect's potent blue demon poison, she's practically half dead. Even if we leave her untouched, she will still die in the Cloud Fog mountain range. Now is a critical time in our war against the three major sects, and yet the master of the sect dispatches us, 3 foundation building cultivators. It's clear he looks down on us and doesn't want us to gain merits. Ji Xian, the one-eyed cultivator, was grumbling. He was very dissatisfied with this arrangement of the sect. He felt that staying away from the battlefield equated to depriving him of his chances to gain merits. Isn't that the case? The Cloud Fog mountain range is vast. If that woman hid in any random place, it would be like looking for a needle in the ocean. How could we possibly find her with our abilities? This is just a waste of time. Peng Hai gritted his teeth with resentment. To him, finding a cultivator in the boundless Cloud Fog mountain range was no different from looking for a needle in the ocean. It was impossible, truly a waste of time. We can't exactly say that. If we can really find the young sect master of the Immortal Mist sect Lang Yuexi, capturing her would certainly be a huge bargaining chip for our ghost demon sect. By then, the sect master of the Immortal Mist sect would have to concede defeat. The bald cultivator, Miao Song, spoke in a deep voice. Chapter 147, Hosting the Dragon Elephant Within, the Power of Dragon Elephant. Hehe, your words sound better than your actions. At these words, Peng Hai couldn't help but laugh. Who doesn't know the great merit to be gained from catching that woman? The problem is, can we find her? We haven't found her all this time. Will us 3 Foundation establishment elders definitely find her? Isn't that nonsense? I don't believe such a coincidence would happen. He was sure he couldn't find Lang Yuexi. Well, it doesn't really matter if we can't find her. The bald-headed cultivator, Miao Song, gave a wry smile. When the sect master issued this task, he didn't mention any punishment for failure. We only need to take a stroll in the Yunwu mountain range, consider the task done, why not? Although it's a critical time for our sect to fight against the King Mu sect, the Danding sect, and the Immortal Mist sect, even foundation building cultivators may not survive such perilous wars. We can dodge the disaster. Yes, there are great merits to be gained in wars, but one can surely die if not careful. We don't have to take such a risk. He thought this assignment was in itself a boon. They could use it as an excuse to avoid the ghost demon sex war. You're right. A large number of foundation building families seem to have migrated to Yunwu mountain range to avoid the war recently. These family cultivators possess considerable wealth. If we loot, we could make a fortune. The few foundation building cultivators we previously dealt with made us quite a profit. We earned more from that than participating in the sectarian wars. Ji Xian, the one-eyed cultivator, nodded in agreement. He'd also experienced the benefits of plundering family cultivators. They were all reluctant to give up. But it seems our actions had scared off the grass snakes, leading the nearby family cultivators to gather together. If we want to strike again, it won't be that simple. Peng Hai said reluctantly. If they could kill all these family cultivators, the wealth gained would be unbelievably enormous. He might even accumulate resources that would help him advance to the mid-stage foundation establishment realm. Relax, it's a good thing that these fools have gathered together. The bald monk Miao Song's eyes flashed coldly. I happen to have 100-year-old spiritual medicine, the monster-attracting grass that emits a fragrance powerful enough to attract many demonic beasts, even second-stage ones. If I place this grass in their base, a large number of demonic beasts would likely attack it, shredding them apart. There's no need for us to lift a finger. He revealed his plan. No wonder you held back and watched those family cultivators gather. You had such a trick up your sleeve. Brilliant, really brilliant. The Yunwu mountain range might not have much, but it's teeming with demonic beasts. If they could cause a small beast tide, they'd likely have more than they could handle. Ji Xian, the one-eyed cultivator, laughed heartily, overjoyed. He saw that the plan to destroy the family cultivators was set. Even if they did fail, they wouldn't lose much. If they succeeded, they could gain a substantial amount of treasure without breaking a sweat. Annihilate these family cultivators. No matter how you look at it, the plan was foolproof. Sure enough, you ghost demon sect cultivators always bring about disaster wherever you go. Mass murder, villainy. It seems there's no room for you anymore. At this moment, a sudden voice came into the ears of the 3 early-stage Foundation establishment cultivators. The speaker was naturally Zhou Sui. He'd been observing these 3 Foundation establishment demon cultivators for a long time, found their weakness, and unhesitatingly took action. What? The 3 Foundation building cultivators from the ghost demon sect were taken aback, their hair standing on end. They had not anticipated there would be other cultivators lurking in this remote area. However, their divine senses had 0 responses, perceiving nothing. Boom! The next second, an invisible soul fluctuation swept towards them, instantly crashing into the 3 Foundation building cultivators. This was the skill of the Dream Soul Gu Dream Entrance. Immediately, they felt a trance in their spirits, as if struck hard. They felt as if their souls were drawn into a dreamscape, almost completely defenseless. Zhou Sui can be said to have mastered the use of the Dream Soul Gu power to perfection. Thud! In a split second, a figure emerged from the fog. It was none other than Zhou Sui. His whole body shot out like a cannonball, going straight for the bald-headed cultivator Miao Song, who posed the biggest threat. His punch, backed by the terrifying power of True Yuan, echoed with the roar of a giant dragon in mid-air. Even though this was just a clone, it still possessed half of his original body's strength and power. His body seemed to be harboring the dragon elephant divine power, containing unimaginable force. Not good. Miao Song, the bald-headed cultivator, shivered. Facing an existential crisis, he hardly managed to break free from the dream entrance skill. But it was too late. The punch landed solidly on his body. His chest felt as if it had been brutally stomped by an elephant god. Even his top-grade defense magical tool couldn't withstand the force of this punch. With a thunderous noise, a hole was punched through his chest, leaving a bloody gap. Blood gushed out. His entire body couldn't bear this violent strength, shattering into pieces. Just like that, without having a chance to fight back, Miao Song was eradicated with a single punch from Zhou Sui. "You bastard, you dare ambush us!" At this moment, Ji Xian, the one-eyed cultivator, and Peng Hai managed to break free from the dream entering skill. Seeing Miao Song's tragic death, they were both shocked and furious, instantly attacking Zhou Sui. One wielded a tiger-headed greatsword, the other a wolf fang club, both fiercely swinging at him. But Zhou Sui didn't dodge, didn't move. He stood there taking the hit. Thud thud thud. The wolf fang club hit Zhou Sui's head with enough power to split rocks, like hitting steel, sparking a violent shower of sparks. Even so, Zhou Sui's head didn't even tilt. He watched them, smiling inscrutably. The tiger head greatsword slashed on Zhou Sui's body, producing a metal clashing sound, sparking flying, but couldn't even cut through his skin. It was as if Zhou Sui's body was ironclad, with unimaginable defensive power. How is this possible? Seeing the scene, Ji Xian, the one-eyed cultivator, and Peng Hai were stunned, gaping, they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Chapter 148, Defense comparable to low-level spiritual artifacts, blasting Foundation establishment demon cultivators. Because this scene was just too exaggerated. In their eyes, this uninvited guest was clearly immortal, not wearing any defense magic artifact, only relying on his physical strength, yet he managed to withstand their blow. In other words, the physical strength of this guy was comparable to a lower-level spiritual artifact. Who would believe such a thing happened? It was an absolute absurdity. Body cultivation at the Foundation establishment realm, are you kidding? It's impossible, even ordinary body cultivators at the Foundation establishment realm don't have this kind of physique. Who are you, where are you from, which sex body cultivator at the Foundation establishment realm is trying to assassinate us? One-eyed cultivators Ji Xian and Peng Hai were both scared and enraged, already having the thought of retreat. Because the guy in front of them was clearly a monster, who had tempered his body to be comparable to a lower-level spiritual artifact, which was too terrifying. They've never heard of any Golden Core sect producing this kind of body cultivator at the Foundation establishment realm. It was utterly incomprehensible. If they continued like this, they would have the same fate as Miao Song earlier. They were demonic path cultivators, not those stubborn righteous sect cultivators. If the situation was unfavorable, they naturally wanted to escape. In other words, there's no haste as long as one survives. Too weak, did you guys not eat? Put some strength into it. Zhou Sui flexed his fist. To be honest, he deliberately allowed these two foundation-building demon cultivators to attack his body earlier. Because he wanted to test how strong his physical body really was. Although this was just a clone, not his real body, at least it had half the strength and half the defense power of his real body. He had to admit that the results of this test exceeded his expectations. Due to the tempering of the dragon elephant goo, his skin had been tempered into the skin of a divine elephant. This was no longer human skin, but the skin of a divine elephant. It could easily resist both magic and physical attacks. As long as the attacks didn't exceed its defense power, it could resist any damage, and greatly reduce any impact. He had done so just now. Despite taking the attacks of two Foundation Establishment cultivators head-on, he was still unscathed. This defense power was simply beyond his imagination. He now understood why the divine beasts in the legends were so terrifying. Ordinary creatures couldn't even pierce their skin, let alone contend with them. The two sides simply didn't belong to the same dimension, the difference was too great. Run! In an instant, the one-eyed cultivators Ji Xian and Peng Hai looked at each other. They were immediately frightened by Zhou Sui. They didn't dare to stay where they were. As for avenging Miao Song, they could wait until another day. After all, they were merely acquaintances. Right now, preserving their lives was the most important thing. It wasn't that they were cowardly, it was just that the guy in front of them was a monster dressed in human skin. There was no way they could defeat him. Swish, swish. In an instant, they went their separate ways, planning to escape in different directions. In this way, at least one of them could escape. They wouldn't be completely wiped out. Unfortunately, they underestimated Zhou Sui's ability. Boom! In an instant, the power of the Dream Soul Goo struck again, violently bombarding the souls of these two foundation-building cultivators. In an instant, their bodies stopped moving, staring blankly like wooden chickens. It's over. At this moment, the one-eyed cultivators Ji Xian and Peng Hai suddenly realized that this unknown Foundation Establishment body cultivator was also proficient in a soul secret art that could temporarily halt their actions. If they had gone all out and grappled with him till the end, perhaps they would have had a chance at survival. However, attempting to escape was simply suicide. Regrettably, by the time they realized this, it was already too late. Boom! Boom! In an instant, Zhou Sui struck again, his fist launching toward them like a shadow, striking like a dragon. He hit the heads of the two Foundation Establishment demon cultivators squarely. Crash! Immediately, the two Foundation Establishment demon cultivators, Ji Xian and Peng Hai, exploded without any resistance, their heads bursting instantaneously. They shattered just like watermelons, with blood splattering everywhere. They couldn't even beg for mercy before they were instantly killed, their bodies beyond recognition. This is the dragon elephant's body. Zhou Sui clenched his fist, sensing the surging power within his body. He finally realized the strength of his physique. It had started to exhibit the power of a divine beast. He had only refined the dragon elephant goo for a short period. Unexpectedly, it could strengthen his body to such an extent. Even 3 early-stage Foundation Establishment loose cultivators put together weren't his match. Moreover, after obtaining the skin of the divine beast, his defense was comparable to a lower-grade spiritual artifact. His skin was as if he were wearing a defensive robe. This was only just the beginning. With the continual refining of his body by the dragon elephant goo, his body could possibly possess the power of the dragon elephant. It could be said that even if he didn't master any body tempering skills, solely the refinement of the dragon elephant goo could make his body incredibly strong, surpassing many body cultivators. After all, in terms of physical attributes, how many could compare with divine beasts? Even the effects brought by many body tempering techniques only approximate the bodies of demonic beasts. It's a pity, these guys died too quickly. I originally wanted to test the power of the demon seed. It seems I can only wait for the next opportunity. Zhou Sui was a bit regretful. However, he felt that after stimulating the dragon elephant blood within his body, it seemed to affect his soul, making him fearless, filling his body with boundless power, courage, and fighting spirit. It was like he had turned into a divine beast. Perhaps this was a side effect of the dragon elephant goo. It impacted his original character. However, compared to the benefits obtained, this minor side effect wasn't much of a concern. Right, I should swallow up the souls of these 3 foundation-building cultivators first. Zhou Sui had a thought and immediately gave an order to the Dream Soul Goo. Swoosh! Immediately, the Dream Soul Goo generated a vortex-like force and swallowed the souls of the 3 Foundation Establishment demon cultivators. A massive tide-like soul energy flooded into its body. At this point, it was as if the Dream Soul Goo had gained a significant benefit. Its aura continued to rise. Could it be advancing to the second stage? Sensing this change in the Dream Soul Goo, Zhou Sui was ecstatic. He initially thought he would need at least to reach the Foundation Establishment realm before Dream Soul Goo could advance to the second stage, but it seemed that it was simpler than expected. After devouring the souls of 3 early-stage Foundation Establishment cultivators, it was akin to the Dream Soul Goo having a tonic. Its cultivation had already reached the pinnacle of the first-grade superior level. Now with the souls of 3 Foundation Establishment cultivators, it was precisely the breakthrough needed. This led to an astonishing increase in the Dream Soul Goo's strength. Chapter 149, Dream Soul Goo advances to second stage, Nightmare Skill. Rumble. At this moment, the Dream Soul Goo immediately broke through the bottleneck, and the power within it received an astonishing upgrade. Second stage, lower level. Without a doubt, the Dream Soul Goo had advanced to the second stage at this moment. The dream space within it had expanded over 100 times compared to before, capable of accommodating more power of dream. Zhou Sui sensed that there were amazing changes in the Dream Soul Goo. Its originally transparent body actually manifested vibrant, colorful hues and appeared to be covered with dense, mystic runes. Bubbles of dreamland were being nurtured within it. It was as if it was a dream world itself, holding countless dream bubbles. At that moment, it also nurtured its third skill, Nightmare. The ability to dream was rather simple. It merely allowed the enemy to fall into a dreamland. If the enemy's soul power was strong enough or if they had soul artifacts for protection, they could still easily break free. But Nightmare was different. The Nightmare at the second stage was unquestionably more terrifying. It could force an enemy into a world of nightmares, rendering them immobile. If one were to die within the Nightmare, their soul would be entirely devoured by the Nightmare. They would die in silence, with no traces left on their body. Without a doubt, the Dream Soul Goo, which had advanced to the lower level of the second stage, was more than 10 times stronger than before. If Zhou Sui were to use the Dream Soul Goo's power at the time, the enemy wouldn't stand a chance. They would instantly be pulled into the Nightmare's world. Not bad. Zhou Sui was thrilled and felt joyful. He didn't expect that after eliminating the 3 foundation-building demon cultivators, he would gain such an enormous benefit. It also helped the Dream Soul Goo advance to the second stage. He had to thank these 3 foundation-building demon cultivators. Without the support of their soul power, how could he have upgraded the Dream Soul Goo? Indeed, I am now much more powerful. Even if I encounter a foundation-building demon cultivator, I can defeat them. Zhou Sui felt incredibly exhilarated. Back then, when he encountered a foundation-building demon cultivator, he shivered in fear. He could only hide in the underground shelter to avoid danger, fearing that the ghost demon sect cultivators would find him. But now, times have changed, and his strength is not the same. Even if he had to face them directly, he could still easily defeat the 3 foundation-building cultivators at the initial stage. It could be said that he now had a certain capability to protect himself. I must remain low profile. There are still too many stronger individuals in this world. Even if I defeat a foundation-building cultivator, a golden core master can still easily kill me. Not to mention there are nascent soul cultivators and even god transformation cultivators outside the immortal Mist Island. I'm still far too weak when faced with such power. Zhou Sui took a deep breath and began to calm down. Otherwise, he would have become completely arrogant. No matter how much he improved his cultivation, caution needed to be ranked first. Remember how powerful Wanliu Master used to be? As a former Golden Core Master, he was still being hunted like a dog. If one is careless and encounters an unbeatable enemy, they will not even know how they died. It's better not to be careless until you're invincible. At this time, he moved with intent and began to search the soul memories of these 3 foundation-building cultivators. He wanted to know why they had come to the Cloud Mist Mountain range. After all, this was important to him. If the ghost demon sect really discovered Lang Yuexi, then they would have no choice but to flee. Even if they interrupted Lang Yuexi's golden core formation process, they would still have to run away. So it is, their journey to the Cloud Mist Mountain range was not because they found traces of Lang Yuexi. It was purely suspicion that Lang Yuexi was hiding in the Cloud Mist Mountain range, striking there out of mere luck. Their search window was only 3 months. Whether they found her or not, they would need to return to the ghost demon sect. Zhou Sui immediately felt relieved. As long as Lang Yuexi's whereabouts were not discovered by the ghost demon sect, there was still room for recovery. Moreover, it was a critical time for the ghost demon sect, and it was impossible to dispatch more foundation-building cultivators to the Cloud Mist Mountain range. As for the Golden Core Masters, it was even less possible for them to take action. Even if there was one less Golden Core Master, it would have a huge impact on the battle situation. Therefore, the Golden Core Masters of the Ghost Demon Sect could not leave arbitrarily, they must stay in the center. Whoosh! Thinking of this, the Zhou Sui clone waved his hand and stored the storage bags of these 3 foundation-building demon cultivators. However, this clone did not intend to return to the valley, but continued to delve deeper into the Cloud Mist Mountain range. After all, no one could be sure what measures these 3 demon cultivators had left on their storage bags. If there truly were any special measures, they would likely be tracked by the Ghost Demon Sect personnel. But his clone took the storage bags deep into the Cloud Mist Mountain range. As such, even if cultivators of the Ghost Demon Sect tracked him down, they would be drawn away. If those Ghost Demon Sect cultivators got too cocky, he could lead them to the Ape King, a 3rd-stage demonic beast territory. He'd let them fight amongst themselves. It would be best if they went down together. Meanwhile, at the Ghost Demon Sect headquarters. With a crack, the life tokens of Ji Yixian, Peng Hai and Miao Song, 3 foundation-building cultivators, shattered instantly, shocking everyone in the Ghost Demon Sect. Especially the Ghost Demon Sect Master, and the Golden Core Masters including the Supreme Elder. After all, for the Ghost Demon Sect, early-stage foundation-building cultivators were also an important fighting force. The loss of 3 in one go was an irreplaceable loss. What happened? How did Ji Yixian and the others suddenly die? Weren't they supposed to be in the Cloud Mist Mountain range? Although the Cloud Mist Mountain range is very dangerous, it's only so for Qi practitioners. For foundation-building cultivators, as long as they were careful not to provoke 3rd-stage demonic beasts, it shouldn't be a problem. An elder of the Ghost Demon Sect found it hard to believe and didn't know what had happened. According to his understanding, as long as Ji Yixian and the others were careful, there shouldn't be any serious problems. But now, they had all died at once, which was utterly incomprehensible. Perhaps they encountered an enemy in the Cloud Mist Mountain range and got ambushed. They couldn't react in time and perished instantaneously. The sect master of the Ghost Demon Sect's eyes emitted a touch of cold light. Ambushed by an enemy? Could it be that the cultivators of the Immortal Mist Sect and other sects discovered their whereabouts and sent assassins after Ji Yixian and the others? Upon hearing this, many elders were taken aback. Perhaps it was not the cultivators of Immortal Mist Sect and other sects who discovered them, but they encountered Lang Yuexi. After all, the purpose of their trip to the Cloud Mist Mountain range was to search for Lang Yuexi. The sect master of the Ghost Demon Sect said in a deep voice. Sect master, that's impossible. Lang Yuexi was poisoned by our sect's potent poison, Blue Demon. She should have been poisoned to death long ago. How could she possibly retaliate against Ji Yixian and the others? Hearing this, many cultivators of the Ghost Demon Sect felt it was impossible. Chapter 150, Lang Yuexi definitely didn't die, the fear of Ghost Demon Sect. Hehe, if Lang Yuexi were really still poisoned, she should have succumbed to it a long time ago. But according to the information we have from within the Immortal Mist Sect, Lang Yuexi's life tablet has not yet shattered. This means that Lang Yuexi isn't dead and is still kicking, which is why I want to send some people to find her. We need to either see a body or a person. The sect master of Ghost Demon Sect gave a cold laugh. This. Hearing these words, many Ghost Demon Sect elders fell silent. They had to admit that their sect master's speculation might be correct. Lang Yuexi truly must have found a way to counteract the deadly poison, and that is why she is still alive. How on earth did this woman cure herself? This particular poison has baffled us. The only ones who know how to counteract it are we, the Ghost Demon Sect. A foundation-building elder simply couldn't believe it, and had no idea how the poison was cured. We're not sure, but there are many strange medicines in the world of cultivation. The Cloud Mist Mountain range is also home to many spiritual medicines. Perhaps this woman infiltrated the Cloud Mist Mountain range and with sheer luck, found a spirit medicine that could counteract the poison. Such a thing is not impossible. The Ghost Demon Sect master said casually. Damn it, this woman's luck is too good if she managed to escape death by chance. A foundation building elder was extremely frustrated. The ghost demon sect had paid a heavy price in the past to capture Lang Yuexi alive. Even so, this woman still managed to escape death and was still as vigorous as ever. In contrast, the ghost demon sect suffered heavy losses because of this woman. The elder, of course, felt that the sect master's speculation made sense. After all, in the world of cultivation, there are many cultivators who have stumbled upon miracles. Is it really out of the question that Lang Yuexi miraculously found a spirit medicine that could counteract the poison? Sect master, if we know Lang Yuexi's whereabouts, why don't we send an elder to capture her? An elder suggested. Fool, if we were to send someone from our ghost demon sect to the Cloud Mist mountain range, wouldn't that be sending them to their death? Hearing this, the ghost demon sect master said irritably, this woman is a cultivator close to perfecting foundation building and possesses a first-grade spiritual root. Now that she's cured the poison and has returned to her former state, we simply can't handle her unless a group of late-stage foundation building cultivators team up. Only a golden core master like us may be able to capture her, anybody else venturing into the Cloud Mist mountain range would be seeking their own deaths. Many foundation building elders understood their sect master's meaning. Typical foundation building cultivators would find it difficult to kill Lang Yuexi, and a golden core master wouldn't act so casually. If they really entered the Cloud Mist mountain range, they could end up falling into a trap set by the enemy and lose their lives in the process. Even if they sent out 4 or 5 late-stage foundation building cultivators, they might not be able to find her trail. After all, the Cloud Mist mountain range is too vast. They would also not be able to find Lang Yuexi's whereabouts in a short span of time. If they failed to find her, it would be as if a significant portion of their military strength was tied up in the Cloud Mist mountain range, which would mean a net loss for them. The sect master also wanted to kill this woman. But, unfortunately, given the current strength of the ghost demon sect, they really couldn't do anything to her. Our top priority now is still to eradicate the Immortal Mist sect. Once the Immortal Mist sect is destroyed, what harm could a measly Lang Yuexi do? The Immortal Mist sect was once the nascent soul sect that ruled this island, with profound strength. If we manage to destroy the Immortal Mist sect, the gain for us would be immense. The ghost demon sect master's eyes flashed a cold light. His reason for wanting to ruin the Immortal Mist sect was to covet their inheritance and strength. They were once a nascent soul sect with profound strength. If they could successfully annihilate them, he might be able to procure enough resources to advance to a nascent soul cultivator. By then, he would become a nascent soul cultivator with a lifespan of over 1,000 years. This was the temptation he couldn't resist. Even if it drained the ghost demon sect's resources, this plan had to succeed. But sect master, this woman is a cultivator close to completing her foundation building stage. If she advances to the golden core stage during this time, it would pose a great threat to us in the future. An elder expressed his concerns. Advance to the golden core stage. On hearing this, the ghost demon sect master laughed out loud. Even though this woman possesses a first-grade spirit root, advancing to the golden core stage is no easy feat. She must retreat in seclusion within a triple-level spiritual vein to have a chance of succeeding. You are also foundation building cultivators, and I believe you know how difficult it is to progress to the golden core stage. If this woman tries to attempt core formation outside, it'd be suicide. It's simply impossible for her to succeed. He didn't believe that this woman could successfully form the core. After all, the environment is crucial for core formation. If it takes place within a triple-level spiritual vein, the success rate will at least increase by 10 to 20%. But if it's a second-stage spiritual vein, the success rate will be significantly lower. While there have been some instances in history where cultivators have successfully formed a core in a second-stage spiritual vein, such individuals are extremely rare, so few and far between. He didn't believe that this woman could be so lucky. If success were merely a matter of luck, this world would be filled with golden core masters by now. Yes, sect master. Many ghost demon sect elders nodded. They agreed with him. After all, they were in the midst of a sect war. Compared to a cultivator who had almost reached the perfect stage of foundation building, one more or less didn't make a difference in the grand scheme of things. For the time being, they would tolerate Lang Yuexi, allowing her to live a little longer. Once the ultimate winner is decided, no matter where Lang Yuexi hides, she can't escape death. As for her successfully forming the core, that was simply impossible. No one understood better than them just how difficult core formation was. Time passed, 3 months later. During this time, things were remarkably calm in the Cloud Mist Mountain range. Ever since Zhou Sui killed Ji Yixian, Peng Hai, Miao Song and other foundation-building demon cultivators, peace returned to the Cloud Mist Mountain range, no more ambushes took place. No ghost demon sect cultivators have been sent over. At this moment, Zhou Sui was sitting cross-legged in a room, just having finished a meditation session. He stroked his chin, looking slightly puzzled. After all, based on his estimates, after the deaths of the 3 foundation-building cultivators, the ghost demon sect should have been furious. They would have likely dispatched a large number of cultivators to scour the Cloud Mist Mountain range thoroughly. But instead, the ghost demon sect seemed to not care at all. The deaths of the 3 foundation-building demon cultivators didn't seem to matter to them at all. There wasn't even anyone to take revenge. This was slightly unexpected for Zhou Sui. However, for Zhou Sui, this was undeniably a good thing. The less the ghost demon sect cared, the better for him. Once Lang Yuexi has successfully formed the core, they will be free to roam as they please.